We'll call the meeting to order for the mayoral transition tonight. In fact, it is a special meeting. I'd also like to do something a little bit different. I'd like to give a little bit of background on, the next three things that are going to happen. Our pastor to go ahead and do the invocation tonight is Pastor Brent Eldridge. And I'd like to point out that I'm extremely pleased to have, Brent was able to take time to be here. And I've known Brent really since I had an 8th grade Sunday school class, and he was one of the students in it. And it's just very satisfying to see a young man grow up to, in this case, be a pastor. He's a lead pastor at Arbor Road Church over in Long Beach, between Bellflower and Clark. He served as a youth pastor for 15 years, and he's called in 2008 to serve in his role at Arbor Road, which is his home church. I need to also point out that he doesn't have one talent that his mom and dad have. They were phenomenal singers. And his personal passions include strategic thinking, teaching, encouraging others, concerning connecting people, and developing meaningful relationships. He has earned a bachelor's and 2 master's degrees and is currently a doctoral candidate at Liberty University, Doctor of Ministry and Pastoral Counseling. He also serves as a chaplain of the LA Galaxy for Major League Soccer for the past 12 seasons. He has been married to his wife, Kristen, since 1996, and together they have 3 children who have started families of their own. In his downtime, Brent enjoys surfing, working out, competing in triathlons, traveling, golfing, and otherwise just enjoying the outdoors and sunshine. Tonight we also have Boy Scout Troop 72. I'm surprised. It's a boy-run, adult supervised organization. Their aim is to help young boys to grow into responsible young men by providing them with opportunities to advance, grow, mature, and lead. Troop 72 was chartered in 1973 and is committed to the development and advancement of scouts through the rank of Eagle Scout. And over my years on council, we've had a number of Eagle Scouts from their troop. And last but not least, for the national anthem, we have Sophia Aniceto. She's 17 years old, attends the Academy for Performing Arts for musical theater. She also trains in dance at the Colburn School in Los Angeles. She had been recognized at the Macy Awards and recently was named a finalist for the Orange County Artist of the Year. And if you will all stand, we'll go ahead and have Pastor Brent Eldridge remain standing for the allegiance with Boy Scout Troop 72 and the national anthem.
Thank you, Bruce. Thanks for your kind words, and thanks for your influence on my life. And I appreciate you pointing out that if this prayer goes south, it's partially due to you. So thank you for the opportunity. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we give you thanks tonight for loving us as children and looking out for us as such and caring for our needs and meeting those needs in your way. Give you thanks for the tremendous and judicious leadership of this council. Thank you for the city and the ways that you continue to provide for it. Thank you for the men and women who serve as first responders. Thank you for those who are willing to help their fellow mankind. And we give you thanks and ask for their safety and their encouragement tonight. God, you've told us that we should give honor where honor is due and give respect where respect is due. And tonight, we give you thanks for Bruce Barrows. Thank you for his leadership as mayor. God, I pray that you'll continue to use his life in very meaningful ways as he has in your servant's life. I give you thanks for all the business in front of us tonight, that you'd be honored in the ways that things are done and accomplished. Pray, God, that you would allow us to be a people who, as much as it depends on us, to be at peace with all people. And we give you thanks for this in Jesus' name. Amen.
May the audience please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. All those in scouting uniform, right hand salute. All those not, place your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming? Whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we've watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Sophia, and Boy Scout Troop 72, and Brent, for giving the invocation tonight. And at this time, we'll do a roll call.
Council and Agency Members Johnson.
Present.
Council Agency Member Vo.
Present.
Council and Agency Member Yokoyama.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem and Vice Chair Solanki.
Present.
Mayor and Chair Barrows.
Present. Next on our agenda is to start our reorganization ceremony. We'll do, introductions of our families.
Public comments.
I was going to skip that. Okay, we do need to do public comments. We'll go ahead and open it, for comments. We are limiting comments tonight to 3 minutes. And I have no, comment cards at this point.
Honorable Mayor and members of the City Council, at this time pursuant to state law concerning special meetings, the mayor has opened the floor to in-person public comments on the subject listed on the agenda, the annual mayoral transition. At this time, we have no blue public comment cards. Mayor, if you would like to open to see if there is anybody on the floor that would like to speak on the mayor transition item only.
Is there anyone that wishes to speak at this time? Okay, I can't see very well, but I don't see any hands up or anybody walking, so we'll go ahead and close public comments and move to introductions by the City Council. Traditionally, the mayor starts off, so I will start off with the introduction of my wife, and I can't even see where she's at.
She's right here.
Okay, right down there. Okay, then next to her is my middle son, Nathan. And I do have, I want to point out that I start with my youngest, my daughter. Her two sons, one's 10, who just grew to 5 feet, and the measurement I think this week. He's 10, and that's his name is Ethan. His younger brother is Owen, and Jessica and Glenn are, the mom and dad. Jessica's our daughter. They're watching this. If it's being broadcast like I think it is, if they're watching. I want to say hi to them and give them a little shout out. Our youngest son is, I think it's in Missouri. He's at a class, could be here. And he left his wife and our two grandkids up in the state of Washington with, her parents. And then our oldest son I know is working, and his oldest son is in Connecticut as a Navy, with the medical corps there. And our next child down is working tonight, and the other two have no way to get here. So anyway, that's the introductions. I have my best friend Dave Albright is here. We also have Brent, which I'm very pleased that he was able to take time away from his duties and be here. And I believe we have one more, Phil Martinez. I went to school with his older brother. He was a year or two behind, but we've been friends ever since then. I'm just very glad, and pleased that he took time to come here also. And with that, that'd be the end of my introductions. And Naresh, I'll go ahead and give it to you.
Are you going to introduce all the guests right now, or?
No, I'll do it right
Okay,
afterwards.
all right. Thank you all. Yeah, I do have my wife Preeti here, my son Jay, my granddaughter Jasmine, my sister Niru, my brother-in-law Vikram, my sister-in-law Shamaine, and I have many friends. I have two brothers, Devin and Kanu, and I have many friends over here and family, so I'm not going to introduce every one of them. Also, of course, our city manager here, former Art Galucci, and Joanne is here. And there's many friends here. I just want to tell you all thank you for coming. That's all, Mayor.
Okay, well, I must just continue that side. Chung?
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to introduce my wife, Tracy. She's in the audience with one of our family close friends, Michelle, over there. And my two boys one's in college. He couldn't make it out here. And the youngest is studying at home. At least he tells us he is. So we'll see about that, all right? But I just want to welcome the greater family of all the residents and community members of Cerritos here tonight. And, Naresh already jumped at it, but I was going to say that I always looked at him as a father figure in the last 4 years, and I would consider him family if he doesn't consider me, but I would love for you to adopt me, but that's another story.
He's sitting at the Solanke chair.
And so I just want to say, thank you, Art Galucci, for being here tonight, and his wife, Joanne. That's all for me, Mayor. Thank you.
Okay, Linda?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to welcome and thank tonight for my family coming here tonight. My son Roy is here. My son Ryan is here with his wife Allie. Joel will be here. He's at a meeting right now and he'll join us later. My family has been so patient, never complains. They work around my schedule, and I just want to thank them for all their support. And I would also like to thank my commissioners that are here in attendance, as well as my extended family, my colleagues from the cities of Artesia, Bellflower, and Lakewood. Thank you so much for being here tonight.
Wasn't he supposed to do this?
Excuse me, Frank?
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for being here tonight. And I wanted to thank some special people that are here tonight. I wanted to thank my brother from another mother, Al Reyes. I wanted to thank my sister from another mister, my appointee, my committee member, Karen Wilson. I wanted to thank my brother, my committee member, Al Barlevy. I wanted to thank my sister. She's been such a big support for me, been there with me all these years. Melissa Ramoso, council member, City of Artesia. And Lastly, my lifelong friends, my family, again, always been there for me for years, ever since being fellow student council members at Whitney High School. I wanted to thank Mark Polito and Gloria Perlas Polito. Thank you for coming. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. This is also time, I think I have a special guest who's sitting with, my family. We have, I think it's Mary Buell. It's right there. Right here in the front. It's just hard to see. And I think Kevin's there also. Anyway, I'd like to introduce our special guest. Tonight we have with us Stephanie Hu, Field Representative for Congresswoman Michelle Steele. We have Benjamin Montalongo, Field Representative for Senator Janet Nguyen. We have Planning Commissioner Bhavan Gandhi. And we also have Gloria Polito. From Parks and Recreation, Emiliano Prado, Commissioner, Fine Arts and Historical Commission, we have Michelle Guerrero, and Concepcion Villanueva, Commissioner. From the Community Safety Committee, we have Martin Flax, and we also have Karen Wilson, from the Community Safety. We have from Live Freedom Ring Committee, we have Monica Ballantyne and Al Barlevy and Candy Yee. And from the former Cerritos Council members, we have former Mayor Sherman Cappy, former Mayor Gloria Cappy, and former Mayor Mark Polito. From the Los Angeles County Fire Department, we have Jessica Post, Acting Assistant Fire Chief. This is Division 4, East Bureau. And we have LaFonda Riggins. She's Community Safety or Community Services Liaison for Cerritos Station number 30. And from the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, we have, we have all their personnel. We have a number here in attendance tonight. I want to thank them for coming also. And then from our surrounding cities, we have Artesia, we have Mayor Pro Tem Ali Taj, we have Councilmember Monica Manalo, Councilmember Renee Trevino, and Melissa Ramoso. And from Bellflower, we have Mayor Dan Coops, and we have Councilmember Victor Sanchez. And from the City of Lakewood, we have David Ariano, Councilmember. Okay. And I was just told that from Lakewood, we have Jeff Wood here also. Okay. I read that.
And Honorable Mayor and members of the City Council, I do want to mention that we did receive one piece of written correspondence on the matter of the annual mayoral transition, and that information was provided to the City Council prior to the meeting. Full copies of those written comments that were received, and there was only one, can be received in the office of the City Clerk Treasurer during regular business hours. And that concludes. Thank you.
Okay. I was just informed that from the Live Freedom Ring Committee, not marked on my sheet here, but we have Daisy Lagasi here also. Next is the recognitions and presentations for the outgoing mayor. And I'll turn it over to our Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you, Mayor. There are special guests here who is going to be presenting the outgoing mayor, Bruce Barrows, with the plaques. And so before that, I'm going to give him a scrapbook. from our city of Cerritos. I just told our staff used to be a huge, big book, and what happened nowadays is all digital, you know? So I'm just confused here.
It's obvious. I didn't do anything, right? No, it's more digitally, produced.
All
That's a
right,
way to
okay.
go ahead and.
Yeah, let's take a picture.
Thank you,
If
Phil.
if I can invite my council colleagues over here, so I can take a picture with the mayor too. Next, we are going to present him with a plaque in appreciation for his dedicated service as a mayor of the city of Cerritos from April 19, 2023 to April 10, 2024. Next, we are going to have from U.S. Congresswoman Michelle Steele, Field Representative Stephanie Hugh, going to be presenting a plaque.
I should. Good evening. It's an honor to be here today on behalf of Congresswoman Michelle Steele. I just want to say as a Cerritos resident, it's been an honor to work with you and have you as my mayor. And I know she had the opportunity to present this to you earlier, which is why I do have it. And she sends her best wishes and looks forward to continue working with you.
Thank you very much. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay. Next, we're going to have a California State Senator Janet Gwynns, 36th District, Representative Benjamin, going to be presenting certificate.
Usually that loud. I can not only do.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. My name is Benjamin. I just also want to make a note from Assemblywoman Sharon Quicksilver's office is Joe Peck. He is the senior field rep as well, so he'll be joining me in the presentation. So again, my name is Benjamin. I'm a field rep for the office of Senator Janet Wynn. So these transitions are always important. It's really important to show that the cities continue to grow and that transitions always, a part of the process. And so we're really excited to be here. And so without further ado, our office in tangent and in a joint with us, Assemblywoman Sharon Cork Silva, we're going to read resolved by Senator Janet Wynn and Assemblywoman Sharon Cork Silva that the Honorable Bruce W. Barris be commended for his exemplary record of leadership as a member of Cerritos City Council and Mayor of the City of Cerritos, and extended sincere best wishes for his continued success in the future endeavors. So congratulations and thank you so much for your leadership.
And give my appreciation back to Janet.
Congratulations.
Okay. And same thing for-
Here, I'll just take it here.
Okay, hello everybody. My name is Joe Peck, and I was not introduced by the mayor earlier, but I wanted to say that I'm a senior field rep for Assembly Member Sharon Cook Silva.
My apology, Joe. Next, we have is the LA County Fire Certificate Acting Assistant Fire Chief Jessica Post.
Do I have to? I don't want to, but I will. Good evening. Thank you for allowing us to be here to present this proclamation, but I'm most excited about giving you a challenge coin. So this challenge coin represents our 100-year anniversary of the LA County Fire Department. So congratulations, and I wish you well in your future endeavors.
Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Oh.
No, thank you. Thank you both very
You're
much.
welcome. And then a pen as well for you.
Oh, well, appreciate it. Sticking my hand right there and I won't try. Don't worry about it.
LA County Sheriff Certificate from Captain Drew.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Captain Drew Strong from Cerritos Station. Mayor, I just wanted to thank you on behalf of Sheriff Robert Luna, Chief George Valdez, myself, and the deputies assigned to Cerritos Sheriff Station for your unwavering support. You've always provided the resources necessary to perform our job. You and members of council have supported our efforts to keep the citizens of Cerritos safe. Whether it be food at a major incident or equipment, you and council provided what was needed. On behalf of the Sheriff's Department, I wanted to provide you with this scroll memorializing our appreciation for a job well done. So thank you.
I want you to let the sheriff know that we appreciate all the work that he does and especially that, the work that you do locally for us. You guys have been just exemplary, for a good number of years and you're continuing that tradition. So thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Next, we have is the City of Artesia Certificate from Council Member Rene Trevino. On the entire council, I guess. I hope they're not violating Brown Act over here.
Yes.
I want to introduce my council colleague, Councilmember Rene Trevino, Councilman Ramoso, and Councilman Manalo. Thank you so much for being here. Mayor Lima could not be here today. He sends his best wishes. But I know he has many stories that he keeps telling the entire region, not only Cerritos or Artesia. And one story that he always tells is when you traveled with him in Japan, and your shoe size was what, 14, and everybody over there weighs like 6. So that's a story that is well known throughout this region. So further so further going in detail, I just want to thank you for your leadership, not just for the city of Cerritos, but for entire region. You were one of the first and the founding members when it came to EcoRapid. And just recently, EcoRapid did the EIS and EIR. Thank you so much for your leadership, your commitment for this region. It really means a lot for this region. So thank you so much for your service. We all have a
little bit of a token of appreciation from the city of Artesia, and we appreciate your leadership. Thank you so much.
Well, before you do that, a former council member for Artesia used to pass out pins. And I said, I'll get them out one day, but I do have, I think, 2 or 3, and they say Artesia, the heart of Cerritos. So there's been this long relationship between the two cities.
If you don't mind, we need to stand over here. Because otherwise all we're getting is the logo of the city.
Thank you for the direction.
Okay. Now we have the City of Bellflower certificate from Mayor Don Coop and Council Member Victor Sanchez.
Hey, Bruce.
I haven't seen you for how many hours?
Yeah. Bruce and I saw each other at Sanitation District earlier today. And, you know, Bruce and I have been on city council, I in Bellflower, him in Cerritos for a long time. And there was a point in time when we were the youngest guys in the room, and that's not quite the case anymore. And one of the benefits of being on city council is learning about your neighboring cities and the relationships that you can develop with the other council persons. And when Bruce and I get together, and with Artesia and with Lakewood, we always have insights to share with one another to try to improve our cities. What did you do? How did that go? What do you want to do next? And it really is cool. And Bruce is like a mentor to many of us because he's been through a lot of different items here in Cerritos, and the success bears it all out. So he's a great resource for all of us. Plus being a good friend. Plus, when I was in the appliance business, he was a good customer. So we connect on many levels. But it's an honor to be here to present this presentation. And I'm glad for the relationship between Bellflower and Cerritos. And maybe we need to get an ink pen that says Bellflower, neighbor to Cerritos or something, you know? Right. All right, Victor.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mayor Bruce, I just want to congratulate you and give you this beautiful challenge coin from the city of Bellflower. It memorializes our veteran memorial park out there in the beautiful city of Bellflower. Come by, check it out, see it one of these days. But with that, just thank you for all you do for the city of Cerritos and the region, the community. Your city is definitely a city that we model after, and we look forward to always hanging out and interacting with our neighboring cities. So just thank you for your service.
Bellflower is a city that we've worked closely with for a lot of years. I was involved in going to a good friend of mine who's passed away now, but Dr. Jordan used to have meetings in his house just off of Clark, in your city. So, and that was back when I was in college. So this is a long-term, relationship between the cities. I was born and raised in Long Beach, but just to be able to, I remember A&W, all the stuff, and then driving up and down the streets, which Bellflower didn't like.
We call that cruising.
Yes, it still is. Anyway, thank you for your kind comments.
Next, we have the City of Lakewood certificate from Council Member Jeff Wood and David Ariano.
Well, it's great to be here. like you, Bruce, we've done a lot of these. I've never been on a stage that Frank Sinatra performed in, and to do a mayoral transition, so it's great. I'm joined by our newest council member in Lakewood. It was about 24 hours ago that he was sworn in. It's his first day. David Ariano. So Bruce, on behalf of our colleagues and the 80,000 residents of the neighboring city of Lakewood, we want to thank you. It was said that you were a mentor. I think you were one of the first people I met when I got elected. And, you know, our cities neighboring each other do work on issues like public safety. And of course, we're the two cities that have Sky Night, and we've continued that long tradition and some of the infrastructure projects that you and your colleagues are working on. So we just want to congratulate you on your 5th term, correct, as mayor, and for all the things you've done for the residents of Cerritos and the region. We have a little proclamation on behalf of our city. So thank you, Bruce.
Once again, I grew up just a half a block south of Del Amo. So the Pan American Parade that you guys have, and, I remember watching those as a very young child. But, Lakewood Center was the biggest, center, I think, in the country at the time. So I've had a long relationship just by living, playing sports inside Lakewood, and going to Lakewood High School. But it's been fun, to work with you guys over the years, and the success that you've had has been a good model for everybody. But thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have the Cerrito Chamber of Commerce certificate from CEO May, Deepa, and Ray Fass.
Hello, everyone. It's an honor to be here. From our members, from the board, I thank you for the outstanding work you've done for the city, and especially supporting us all in this past year. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you very much. And we appreciate the work that the chamber does, and a very valuable member in helping our city advance. So thank you for all the work that you guys do.
Next, we have the Artesia Chamber of Commerce certificate, President, VP, board members.
Thank you, Mayor Bruce Barrows. Thank you for your exceptional leadership, dedication, and outstanding service to the city of Cerritos. Your vision and commitment have enriched Cerritos and all the neighboring communities. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And thank you for all the work you guys do also. Thank you.
Next, we have the Artesia Cerrito Rotary Club by Rene Trevino. Sorry, Renee.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem. My name is Rene Trevino, and I represent the Cerritos Artesia Rotary Club. I want to thank everyone for being here tonight. Some of our board members are here, Vice President Dan Rocha, our Treasurer Eileen, one of our members, Sam Desai, and also one of our members, Councilmember Linda Johnson. When you join Rotary, it is about public service. It is about service above self. And one of the things that attracted me to Rotary was being able to give back to the community. And I moved into Artesia about 15 years ago. And I moved in and I missed Cerritos by about half a block. And at the end of the day, when I was invited to join Rotary, it was the Cerritos Artesia Rotary Club. And I looked at the bell, that's probably about 30 or 40 years old. And you looked at the bell closely and it said, the Artesia Rotary Club. I said, oh, is this the original bell? They said, yes, it is. I said, well, this is wonderful. So the club started in Artesia and made its way into Cerritos. And for me, it's an embodiment of how well the two cities work together. We have two great councils, two great cities that interact. I do want to share a little story. Earlier, you said that Artesia is the heart of Cerritos or something like that. And I said, well, I was at an Optimist Club one day and I was actually made that same statement. And former Mayor George Ray corrected me. He said, Renee, no. That's not the way it goes. Artesia is not the heart of Cerritos. Artesia is downtown Cerritos. So with that being said, on behalf of the Rotary Club, we want to recognize you, Mayor Barrows. I want to thank you for your leadership, your mentorship. We've had a lot of good communication together. And I want to thank you for all that you've done for the region, for the city of Cerritos, and yes, for us in Artesia, because we work hand in hand together. And I want to thank you for all you've done for the city. Thank you so much.
Like I said, I've already said it, but there's been a long history, between the cities. There's always a time where you look at local area, issues that are important to you, and you take precedence over working with your neighbors. But by and large, our cities have been great friends, and how we collaborate on a number of issues. And from my days of coaching, the number of kids that I've coached from Artesia is beyond what I can count at this point. But we've had a long, productive relationship, and that should continue for a lot of years to come.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Next we have is the Cerritos Republican Club, Joanne Flaman and Sam Padachi.
Thank you guys for coming.
Mr. Mayor, let me just say what an honor it is indeed to be on this stage, and to all of our distinguished guests from our surrounding cities as well. My name is Sam Padachi, and I represent the Cerritos Republican Club. But despite the name, we also have members who live in Norwalk, Bellflower, Artesia, Lakewood. We're open to anybody of, well, the right side of the political aisle, but we want to be friends with everyone. And I am also very privileged to have grown up and spent time in these cities. My parents moved us to Bellflower, where they bought their first house when I was a year old. They had my two sisters and needed a bigger house and moved to Lakewood. And after that, they kept having kids. They wanted a big family and had to settle for just 7 of us. So they bought a bigger house in Cerritos. And I spent a little bit of time in Artesia because when we moved in, if you wanted green grass that you wouldn't step in something, you had to go over to Artesia Park. That was the only spot around when we first got here. That's changed. There's a lot of beautiful parks in this town and so much more to commend it. I'm here tonight with some folks who are also longtime Cerritos residents. I'm here with Joan Pileman, our membership chairwoman, who not only knows where the bodies are buried, but who handed out the shovels. I'm here with Roger, I'm sorry, I'm having a brain cramp. Garrett, who has spent time serving in the Republican Club as president and a couple of other offices, and has also served on our Los Angeles County Central Committee for the Republican Party. And our most distinguished member at large, Dixie Primosh, who served on the ABC Unified School Board. And I had the privilege of going to ABC schools. They were great then, they're great now, thanks to these people's efforts. Mr. Mayor, on behalf of the Cerritos Republican Club, we'd like to present you with this plaque, not just for this past year's tenure as mayor, but for your many years of distinguished service to our town. It's the 500-pound gorilla of municipalities in Southeast LA County, thanks to folks like you. Congratulations, sir.
The plaque reads, Bruce Barrows, Mayor of the City of Cerritos, 23 to 24, in recognition and appreciation of your dedicated and outstanding leadership to our community, given this 10th day of April, 2024.
Thank you. Well, thank you guys very much.
Mr. Mayor, I think you really should take note of one thing. In honor of this very decorous occasion, I left my flip-flops at home and wore shoes.
Last one we have is from Sophie Say from ABC School District.
On that side? Okay. Before I want to recognize our outgoing mayor, Mr. Barrows, I do want to say something to recognize one of the city Cerritos staff. A few years ago, I did a CPR. I saved the patient, one of the senior life, and then Cynthia is the only one recognized me. And then today, I want to recognize her today because she was so kind. I was preparing my speech. The reason is I want to be short and sweet. Unfortunately, there was no Wi-Fi here. So I got panicked. I said, oh no, why don't I do my speech? I should have printed out today. I normally do both. But things I say, oh, don't worry about it. Let me give you Wi-Fi information. So here I go. I have a very short and sweet. I do want to say something to him before I recognize too. He was one brought me to the ABC school board. Barrows, Mr. Barrows and Carol Chen say, hey, you need to run for school board. So I did run, and I was number 1 out of the 9 people running it. I was the first one go get it. But I want to thank you for that. I will never forget that. Now, I have my speech right here. We want to recognize and thank you, Mayor Barrows, for your dedication to the city. To the city of Cerritos. I love you all. Especially to the students and the family who live, work, and attend the school in this great city of Cerritos. On behalf of the ABC Unified School District and our board colleague, we want to say thank you for your service. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much.
Uh-huh.
Okay. You know, the surprising thing is that what you're seeing a little bit of is, from COVID's kind of had a big impact on us, but nothing goes on without being able to collaborate with all these other individuals. And I'm just very pleased that we've had a lot of success for our city, but it took a lot of people to help. We helped them to get what they need, and we've had people help and work with us to get what our city needs also. But thank you for your kind comments.
Thank you.
All right, next we are going to have the video highlighting the Mayor Barrows' year of service.
This is where I get to go ahead and make a few comments in conclusion of my term. I'd like to start with the fact that I want to thank each of you for coming tonight, especially to our beautiful theater. And I'm also grateful for the opportunity to have served, our residents and community as mayor for this past year. I especially want to thank our staff, for working so hard during a challenging year. And it's amazing. You'll hear it every year from each of us as mayors, but you'll see that there's more people that do so much work that you just don't see. We don't introduce them. We just can't name everybody. But I know every one of our council members does appreciate all the work and how we get things done to build this beautiful city and to maintain it and to continue the growth. I also want to thank our city council for affording me this last term as mayor. The city remains in a very strong fiscal position. In fact, if I remember correctly, we're still rated a AAA credit, for our city. There's not many cities that can say that in California. In fact, it's this less now than it ever has been. And this is due to a commitment to strategic planning and the efficient allocation of public resources. I'm also pleased by the work of my council colleagues and I have achieved with our city staff to ensure the city meets the community's needs. And at the beginning of my term as mayor, I was honored to be part of a ribbon cutting ceremony celebrating the reopening and renovation of our council chambers. And you may have noticed that the video that you see at home is much clearer than it was before, and there's still more improvements to come. We're waiting for, I think Frontier or Verizon, one of the two, has to go ahead and make some changes to accept our feed. Because what I do know is that when you see the feed inside our broadcast booth, it's far better than what I see on my TV at home. The newly renovated City Council chamber now boasts, obviously, new equipment to provide a state-of-the-art experience and communication for all of our residents. Following all the challenges from COVID, the CCPA, our theater here, has announced a full season for this year, the 23-24. But most importantly, the ticket sales reached 4.5 million at the half-season mark, exceeding ticket sales expectations for the entire season. And over the past year, the city has been updating the design of our various websites, and some of that is available now to look for. If you look at our new Cerritos library and the Shop Cerritos websites were launched, and a redesign is in the works. We're very close to seeing the city's new website. And 2 years ago, Chung Bo, as mayor, introduced a new way to update our residents on a weekly basis with a short 60-second video broadcast. And we saw parts of it up there. This has turned out to be more successful than I think any of us ever suspected. Well, maybe not Chung. But I was very pleased that I was able to continue that. It's not my normal nature to do something like that, but it's a phenomenally good way to increasing communication between our residents, our community as a whole, by sharing positive news in a very short segment, which is roughly 60 seconds. I also hope that our Mayor Pro Tem is more like I am, wants to be out there in front of a camera, but I do hope you do continue it, because I think you'd be surprised at how many people do watch it and the comments that they appreciate having something that's very concise and right to the point. I wish also to thank each of our staff who worked to make this broadcast program so successful. And by the way, my last episode as mayor aired this week. Again, thank you, Chung. And Arish, I'm looking forward to watching your episodes. So yeah, I do hope I get to see those. We're going to put some pressure on you. And I was honored to be invited to represent the city at the red carpet premiere of the Cerritos Auto Square documentary titled Nothing Like It in the World, the story of the Cerritos Auto Square, which was hosted here in the Performing Arts Center. The event was a success, and the documentary provides a very fascinating history and of the unique and highly successful relationship between the city and the Auto Square. And if you haven't seen it, go to our website and look at it. And I think you'd be very pleased, to see what's there. And I'm also very proud of my city council colleagues that unanimously voted to approve an initiative to implement a very high-speed fiber optic network in the city. This visionary project will allow the city to enhance the reputation of our city as a highly desirable location for new businesses, as well as retaining our current businesses. I think we're looking at a lot of changes coming to how the finances work for cities in the very near future. And our council, I'm just very pleased that all of us see the same thing, that we're working on behalf of the city, because I think all of us have heard from residents saying that their son or daughter has gone through university and they can't find a high-paying job here in the city. And for us to attract those businesses, all the ones that I am aware of require, high speed. And we're not talking 1 gigabyte or 2 gigabytes, because that's available to almost every household in the city. We're looking at, most cities are looking at, 10 to 20 gigabyte, transmission lines, and we're looking at going to 45 to 50, to really get out into the future, exactly what this town center used to be part of, which is known, to being at the forefront. And what we want to do is recapture that and move us ahead of where the cities are that we compete with. And I also thankful for the support of my city council colleagues to start the process of making our artwork in public places program stronger and more up to date. I look forward to the installation of the recently acquired piece, Molding Our Future, which will be installed in our sculpture garden. Additionally, we're getting closer to the start of the much anticipated installation of the pieces dedicated to our first responders. And I think the whole area that's going to be redone is going to be a very nice attribute and tribute to our first responders. The Cerritos Library continues to offer quality program for the community and has also introduced a new seed library made possible by the award of the sustainability grant. And with this grant, the library has launched new programs for residents of all ages. And they do make the seeds available, I think, at the checkout area, desk area, and we do not have to return the seeds. You can take them home and plant them. This year, the Senior Center underwent various facility improvements, projects that were done, including new roofing, skylight, and currently the installation of new carpeting is underway. And through it all, the center remained open for all of our seniors, which, they do provide classes, workshops, and services for our active senior community. And with the retirement of our long-term city manager, Art Galucci, last year, my colleagues and city council and I have appointed Robert Lopez, and Art is sitting right down here with his wife, Joanne, and Robert is right here on the end of the dais here. And Robert does bring with him strong roots and history here in the city with considerable experience, and his notable educational background. And we know the city will be in good hands, for a good number of years moving forward. And I'd like to also thank him and our staff for all the dedication that you've given to the city over these years. We do continue to work on improvements at the Civic Center parking structure, increase security measures for City Hall. For those who are awaiting the reopening of Ironwood 9 Golf Course, you saw us in that little golf cart, longer one, and we took a tour of it. The golf course is in phenomenal shape. We're just waiting for the federal government and the state to release, based on some more testing that has to be done for the soil that was damaged with the gas leak from the firm that had the line there. But it's going to open very, very soon. But again, I'd like to point out that the golfers I've received calls. I'm sure everybody here is asking when this is going to open. And it's going to be very, very soon. We're hoping within a month, maybe at the outside 2 months, but it's that quick. In closing, I'd like to thank the residents and the community for their support during my year as mayor. I'm proud of everything that our council has achieved, and I look forward to continuing to work with my city council colleagues during my last year in the city council. And our goal has always been to make our city the best possible community that it can be. But I also like just to close to once again thank my wife, Teresa, for her wonderful support, for all the years they've been on council. Once again, I want to thank each of the members of the city council. And the next thing is to declare, my position vacant, and I'll turn it over.
We're gonna have, we still have number 5, Mayor.
Okay, I'm skipping stuff. Okay. Well, Naresh, I'll turn it over to you then for comments from the city council.
Thank you, Mayor. It has been a pleasure and honor to serve with Mayor Barrows this past year. Mayor Barrows has provided strong and effective leadership for our city council. His dedication to providing the best possible service for Cerrito residents and business is commendable. His contribution have helped our city thrive, and his careful stewardship of city's finance has resulted in excellent fiscally position for the city. Mayor Barrows brought our community together for many special celebration and program this year, including Independence Day, Veterans Day, Santa's holiday float. During his 5th term as a mayor, he initiated many new programs for the city, including launch of new city website and other methods for improving the city's communication with transparency to the community. I'd like to thank Mayor Barrows for his many contributions to Cerritos and being an excellent leader to our great city this past year. Thank you.
Thank you, Naresh.
Thank you, Mayor. I'll be up next. I just wanted to say thank you, Bruce, for all the service that you've committed yourself throughout the years. I want to thank Teresa and your family for giving up the sacrifices for so long so this city can benefit from your service. You have your family here, but I also think that up here we're a family as well. And, as you know, family always knows the down and dirty of the real person in that family. So today, I want to let everyone know about you, Bruce. And the truth is about Bruce is because truly, as you're all sitting out there, the people that really know what goes on are people sitting up here when it comes to working together. And I have to tell you, Bruce doesn't have to be up here. He didn't have to be. He was retired. He was good, spending time with his family, grandkids, but he stepped up at the time when we needed him to. And he was able to do the things that he did for us. And, a true leader is somebody that before you can lead, before you can get success, you got to grow yourself. And I know historically, I know you not as far back as when you first started, but as long as I've known you, you've always grown yourself to make sure you learn every day. But a real leader, a true leader, once you get success, that person makes sure that other people grows around them. And so you've done that. You've been great. You've been a mentor to so many people, not just here, but throughout the whole entire region. Your fingerprint is almost everywhere. And so I want to thank you for that. And one of the things that people don't know is because sometimes social media is like the information for the community. And a real leader, a real dedicated leader that truly does it for the right reasons. They don't take shelf selfies. They don't do this. They don't do that. And Bruce is one of those guys that does a lot of work behind the scenes that a lot of people don't know he does. Like today, he was at a meeting, sanitation. Yesterday, he was at 2 meetings with me. And things like that is what he does behind the scenes to make sure that our city grows and prospers. And, if you see the video that's posted out today, there's a lot of things he's done. And we recorded. He might not want it, but we recorded it. And today we displayed it for all the people to see just a little bit of what he's done, not just this year, but throughout. And so with that, I just want to thank you, Bruce. I want to thank your family. Truly, the sacrifice is real. And I just can't say enough about how you've led me to where I'm at today. So thank you so much, Bruce.
Thank you, Chung. Linda?
I'd like to thank Mayor Bruce Barrows on his service this past year as mayor of the city of Cerritos and for the many years he has served on council, as well as being a 5-time mayor. This is an incredible accomplishment, and I am honored to be able to thank him publicly, as a colleague, and as a friend. Bruce has been instrumental through our council consensus on many projects and ideas to move our city forward and to be proactive on many issues. Just in his mayoral year alone, he has brought forth the prioritization of street improvements during our budget approval process, commenced conversations with Caltrans regarding the maintenance and landscaping of freeway ramps in Cerritos, directed the city manager to facilitate the selection of a professional firm to ensure best practices that are utilized, including methods to encourage robust public participation in the conduct of the city's futures strategic plan process. There's so much more, but these are just a few examples of how Bruce is leading our city into the future. I personally want to thank Bruce for his guidance. He has mentored me on several occasions, most recently on legislation that affects our community and residents and how we as a city can voice our position to our legislators in Sacramento. Now, Bruce and I may not always agree. In fact, I voted on past city council agendas opposite of his vote, but in the end, I have always found him to be fair, and he has always conveyed to me that he respects my decision and is always there to help bring out the best in me and how I govern. Thank you, Bruce, for your leadership this past year. I've learned so much from you and will continue to seek guidance from you.
Thank you, Linda.
I'm not done.
I thought you were. Okay, go ahead.
I am looking forward to continuing to work together, as well as the 5 of us, as we put forth our best efforts in serving the community and our residents. Thank you, my friend. Thank you, Bruce.
Thank you, too. Frank?
Thank you. Thank you, Bruce, for voting with Linda and me to give our hardworking City of Cerritos employees a well-deserved cost of living adjustment early this year so that they can survive the consequences of inflation. This was something that you were proactive in bringing up, and I'm proud that this was a significant way that the City Council took care of our employees. Thank you, Bruce.
Thank you. I think if anybody watches our council meetings, especially over all the years, I've seen so many votes that were, 4-1, not to mention the 5-0 votes, but, the 4-1 or 3-2. And I've been on the one side, I've been on the 5-0 votes, we all have. But, that diversity of thought is what makes our council stronger. And I do want to thank each of you for, working and presenting your own points of view. And I think the differing points of view, when we don't agree, as long as we're respectful, the community sees that we're working together and we do accomplish things, but it makes a better decision. But I want to thank you again for your kind comments. And now I can turn it over to the city clerk, and I'll go ahead and declare, the seat vacant since, this is the end of my term. But Vita, I'll let you take over for, the rest of it from here.
Thank you, honorable council members. At this time, the office of mayor chair is declared vacant and nominations are declared open. No second is required.
Okay, I'd like to nominate our Mayor Pro Tem. I'd like to point out a little bit, Narish and I met before, he was on the planning commission. We were just together waiting in line, to renew our AAA. Yes, at AAA, but something about our license on the vehicles or something like that. We just got to talking. And it's, that serendipity of a meeting is something that I've seen happen over and over again. As long as you're paying attention and aren't just focused on your navel, you'll see there's people around you that are very, very talented. And from that, we developed more than an acquaintance, but I was able to appoint him to the planning commission. And he showed a great amount of promise, and he learned very well there. We worked together on his campaign, got him elected to the city council. And fortunately, we had a guy like Jim Edwards there to mentor you at the same time. And Art has been very good at helping to strengthen the education process for each of us over the years. Narish has proven, through his time as mayor during our COVID shutdown, and I'm just very pleased that we're going to be able to have you serve during a normal year instead of a COVID, process that you had to go through. With that, I place his name in nomination.
And at this time, with no further nominations, we will declare the nominations closed. And I will go ahead and take a roll call vote. Council Agency Member Barrows.
Aye.
Council Agency Member Johnson.
Aye.
Council Agency Member Solanki.
Aye.
Council Agency Member Vo.
Aye.
And Council Agency Member Yokoyama.
No.
And at this time, we declare Mayor and Chair Solanki with a vote of 4-1.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, are we having a Mayor Pro Tem nomination?
Thank you for your patience, Honorable Council. At this time, the office of Mayor Pro Tem and Vice Chair is declared vacant and nominations are declared open. No second is required.
I nominate Changwo as the Mayor Pro Tem.
And with no further nominations, we will take a roll call vote. Council Agency Member Barrows.
Aye.
Council Agency Member Johnson.
No.
Council Agency Member Solanki.
Aye.
Council Agency Member Vo.
Absolutely.
Council Agency Member Yokoyama.
No.
And Mayor Pro Tem and Vice Chair Vo is declared in the seat with a vote of 3-2.
Okay, I guess I just gotta make remarks. I would like to have Mayor Pro Tem make his remarks.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to say thank you to my colleagues that voted for me for the trust and service that I plan on providing as the Mayor Pro Tem this coming year. I want to thank the community for coming out tonight and witnessing this and supporting this. I just want to say thank you, and I look forward to working with everybody and being the mayor pro tem that you all expect me to be. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. I'm greatly honored to be named as mayor of Cerritos for third time, and I thank my city council colleague for their support. I'd like to thank Cerritos residents and the community for their support and for sharing city's vision to make Cerritos a special place to live and work. I would like to congratulate Bruce Barrows for his successful leadership as a mayor during the past year, and I congratulate Mayor Pro Tem Vo on being named as Mayor Pro Tem. I'm proud to serve with each of you, and I look forward to working together on betterment of Cerritos. As a mayor, I will make every effort to protect the city's resources and continue to prudent with city's budget. This is a time of opportunity, and we can look forward to a year of progress for the city and a continuous level of exceptional service and outstanding programs. Business continue to thrive and invest in Cerritos. Recent and future project and development will continue to drive the city's sales, growth, and revenue. As a mayor, I will continue to make public safety a priority for our community. We're fortunate to have Cerritos Sheriff Station to help and protect the city. I'd like to thank Captain Drew, all the officers, station personnel for the excellent work. The Cerritos Center for the Performing Arts Center will continue to offer quality entertainment as well as art education program to the community. I encourage everyone to attend a show at the theater. Our park, recreation service, classes, and sports league are among the many things that draw people to Cerritos. The city plans to maintain and provide this excellent program well into the future. I encourage Cerritos residents to explore everything our award-winning Cerritos Library has to offer, including story times for children, academic workshop, and presentation from acclaimed authors. I also invite Cerritos residents who are age 50 or older to visit the Cerritos Senior Center at Pat Nixon Park. The Senior Center offers many valuable social, recreational, fitness, health programs. This year marks the Senior Center's 30th anniversary. I welcome the challenges and opportunity to serve as a mayor of Cerritos as the city celebrates its 68th anniversary this year. We are fortunate to have Cerritos residents, city council members, and city staff who are committed to provide the best possible service for the community. In closing, I'd like to thank my wife, Preeti, my two sons, Mehul and Jay. I have 3 granddaughters, but only one is present here, Jasmine, my brothers, my sister-in-laws, my daughter-in-laws, and my family and friends they were there with me, thick and thin, Bhavin Gandhi, Deepa, Ketan, Dr. Anil Shah, Dr. Bharat Patel, Sanjay Khetani, Andy Kapadia, Keith, who else am I missing? Hemant, Preeti Patel, Kanu, Devan. Yeah. Thank you all for attending. I look forward to serving as a mayor in the year ahead, and thank you all. Okay, Linda, would you like to say comments?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Congratulations to Naresh Solanki on becoming mayor and to Chung Vo on becoming our mayor pro tem. I look forward to both of you as our new leaders on the council and that all 5 of us will work as a team to make our city the best in the region. As you know, I voted tonight in opposition for the selection of this year's mayor pro tem. It is nothing personal against my colleague, but it was the right thing for me to do because I stand by my convictions. As you recall, last year, I stated in my comments that we should have a mayoral rotation that transitions to the council member that is next in line. That is not happening here. It is disrespectful to our residents. However, moving forward, I am It is my hope that we will get back on track with future mayoral transitions that is equitable to all 5 of us. And with that, I am committed to moving forward into the 2024-2025 season, and am committed to working with all 5 of us. I am hopeful that our new mayor and mayor pro tem will continue to lead with the same respect and fairness as our past mayor, Mayor Bruce Barrows. I am confident that this council will put our residents first, and that together we will solve the many issues that affect our seniors, businesses, families, and all stakeholders. Congratulations to you both.
Thank you. Frank?
Thank you. Thank you to all of you for attending tonight. Life is not measured by the breaths we take, but by the breathtaking moments. And if you'll allow me to just share a few of those moments with you from this past year. It was maybe the most memorable year of my years on the city council since 2017. I got to welcome to Cerritos California Attorney General Rob Bonta earlier this year with Mark Polito. I got to welcome to Cerritos the Philippines Consul General Edgar Badajos with Linda and Mark. Some fun things that I got to be a part of is Linda and I got to welcome to the city of Cerritos, to the Sheraton Cerritos, we got to welcome Seema Auntie, the Indian matchmaker. Another fun thing, just a short while ago, Linda and I got to welcome Joe Coy. And that was actually in the great city of Artesia. So thank you for letting us come and see Joe Coy. And my mom got to cross that off her bucket list, that she got to meet and talk with and take a photo with Joe Coy. So that meant a lot to me. Once again, like I've been doing every year, I got to welcome the middle school students from Kakamigahara, Japan, who visit our ABC school district and the city of Cerritos every year except for the pandemic. And thank you, Kathy Matsumoto, for always making that happen every year. I was invited to visit the Japanese Consulate General in Los Angeles, and I met with Consul General Kenko Soni, and that's a wonderful connection, because I was honored to be invited and attend the birthday celebration for the Emperor of Japan, hosted at the home of Consul General Kenko Soni. And the reason that this will always be a breathtaking moment for me is because I got to meet a hero of mine. I got to meet George Takei there. And you know him as Sulu from a show you might have heard of called Star Trek. And I got to talk to Mr. Takei about his experiences in the Japanese concentration camps, just like my father and his family were in those concentration camps during World War II. But I also got to have a fun talk with him about the USS Cerritos. You might have heard that in the future, in Star Trek history, in the future, there's going to be a starship called the USS Cerritos, which is going to be the featured ship in the show Star Trek Lower Decks. And George Takei and I had a lot of fun talking about that. Speaking of the USS Cerritos, I was glad to join my colleagues at the red carpet premiere of the documentary about the Cerritos Auto Square. And I was, while we were sitting here in this theater, watching the premiere of that Cerritos Auto Square documentary, I was excited to see that the director listened to my comments during the city council meeting where he presented his ideas about the documentary, and he made it a point to include in the documentary about the Cerritos Auto Square, he included clips of the USS Cerritos. So that is proof that Cerritos is a part of pop culture in America. A year ago, in March of 2023, Linda and our senior assistant city manager, Tori Contreras, and I attended the National League of Cities conference in Washington, D.C. And that's when I was honored to be elected to the leadership of APAMO, Asian Pacific American Municipal Officials, as the secretary. And the National League of Cities has a membership of over 2,725 member cities across the United States. So it's really hard for me to wrap my head around the fact that through APAMO, I'm representing Asian Pacific American elected officials at the local level, cities and towns and villages across the country. And while we were there last year, Linda and I met with our Congress member, Michelle Steele, and we talked to her about the Del Amo Bridge project because we want to widen that to 4 lanes. I also got to meet with Senator Alex Padilla, and I got to talk to him about Cerritos and about our hometown daughter, Secretary of Labor, Julie Su. And what happened from that is in November at the National League of Cities conference, I was elected president of APAMO. And I've had the honor of being the president of APAMO since this past November. So here we are again, going back to Washington, D.C. just last month. And I got to represent Cerritos as the president of APAMO, Asian Pacific American Municipal Officials. I got to, I was able to meet with Michelle Steele and with Linda Sanchez over there in Washington, D.C. But the moments I will always remember is that Linda and I got to meet with Secretary of Labor Julie Su in a private meeting and talk to her about Cerritos and talk to her about all of our residents. And the number one thing that happened out of that I will never forget is I got to represent Cerritos in meeting with the President of the United States, President Biden. So another thing that was memorable to me this past year is I was honored to be recognized as a 2023 Democrat of the Year by the Los Angeles County Democratic Party, as well as Supervisor Janice Hahn, Assessor Jeff Prang, and Congress member Adam Schiff. Thank you to my wife and my kids, my parents, Tom and Chit Yokoyama, my sisters and their families for their support of me in my responsibilities as serving as a council member that was elected by the residents of our great city of Cerritos. My wife's dad, my kids, Harabaji, my father-in-law, Jang Sabha, peacefully passed away on March 26, 2024 at Torrance Memorial Medical Center. It was a tough time, but he's not in pain anymore. And what was meaningful and important was that the entire family got to spend a lot of time with him these last couple of months. Thank you to the Cerritos employees and the residents who have reached out to my family and me with prayers and support, as well as Supervisor Janice Hahn for reaching out to me and my family. Thank you for letting me share these breathtaking moments with you from this past year. I'll see all of you at the reception. And as they say in Star Trek Lower Decks, Cerritos strong. Thank you.
Thank you, Frank. I forgot to introduce a couple of my commissioner. I just saw Leah Nash came, and Parimal Shah was here earlier. And I forgot, I think my sister Niru and Vikram Sua. Niru was one of the hardest working campaign manager I had. Thank you, Niru. With that, I guess we'll adjourn and we'll go to Sierra Room for a reception. Thank you all for coming.